Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's session of live quarter review using technical analysis. So for today, the flow will be same as per usual. First up, I'll go through the economic calendar. Then afterwards, I'll talk about some of the indices and commodities. Then afterwards, I'll go through some of the key sectors like the Mag 7, the US banks, semi-cons, as well as EVs. And last but not least, I'll also go through any counters or questions that you all have. Yeah, so if you have any counters that you want me to go through, feel free to leave them in the Q&A tab. Yeah, and try to keep it to about three per person, so to give everyone a chance for their questions to be answered. Yeah, so without further ado, I'll begin. So for today, for this week, the economic calendar, tonight we have the uh S&P Global Manufacturing PMI, that's at 10:45, and also the ISM Manufacturing PMI at 11 p.m. Okay, going to tomorrow, there's FOMC Williams speaking at 10:55 p.m. Then Wednesday, FOMC Kashkari speaking at 12:45 a.m. API crude oil stock at 5:30 a.m. ADP non-farm employment change numbers at 9:15 p.m. S&P Global Services PMI at 10:45 p.m. ISM non-manufacturing prices 11 p.m. Crude oil inventories at 11:30 p.m. Then going to Thursday, there's the Challenger job cards. That's at 8:30 p.m. Jobless claims at 9:30 p.m. And afterwards, yeah, going to Friday will be an important one. So Friday, the FOMC Bowman speaking 2:15 a.m. and then retail sales at 8:30 p.m. followed by non-farm payrolls. That's at 9:30 p.m. Yeah. So quite a lot of like PMI data this week, but I think the focus will be the Friday one. So that's the non-farm payrolls at 9:15 p.m. to take note of. Yeah. Next one, I'll move on to the indices and commodities. So first one, I'll talk about Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin for now, probably I would think it's pretty much sideways. So I think currently on the daily chart is facing some resistance from the 20 SMA level, which is currently around 67K about there for now. So I think that's probably some resistance over there right now for Bitcoin. So I think probably for now we'll probably see some sideways kind of open. In terms of support, probably with the recent swing low around 63K, and then the lower end it dips towards close to 60K. I think that's a retest of the lows. This swing low, I think that will be support as well. So 60 to about 63K is the support area. Then resistance for now, I think 67 to about 70K. Yeah, on the weekly chart, I think generally still finding some resistance along the 5 SMA. So kind of similar to this part in December last year, where price was after a sell price kind of sideways for a few weeks. So I think we might be seeing something similar to that. Next one I'll talk about is Dow Jones. Yeah, so for Dow Jones, I think some in terms of the charts, some weakness recently where price couldn't hold this 49.6K breakout level over here, and then it acted as a resistance, and then also I think is trading below this upwards channel over here. So for now, I think we might see some weakness. The current weakness might bring it maybe to test the 100 SMA level, this W line over here. So previously during the dip over here, that acted as a bit of a support in 20 November. So I think for now, this 48K around this level could be a support for Dow Jones over here. Yeah, so overall support zone should be around 47.8 to about 48.5K area. And then currently, I think the low of last week's would be some resistance 48.7 onwards about 49.2K. Now on the weekly chart, I think Dow still remains okay. Because it's still generally some weakness for now because it's under the 5 and 10 SMA weekly. But in terms of the longer term trend, I think as long as it stays above 20 SMA weekly, I think still okay, which is currently still above like at 48.2K as of last Friday. So still okay for now in terms of Dow Jones. Next one I'll talk about is is the Nasdaq. Yeah, so next one for Nasdaq, I think generally still some weakness if you look at some of the longer term movement ranges since the price broke down this blue line, this 100 SMA level, has been acting as a resistance at 23.2K. And I think we probably will see some weakness to maybe test the recent swing low currently. So that's 22.2K. So I think for now, support zone probably around 21.8 to about 22.2K area. And that will be around the 200 SMA daily level as well, the purple line you see over here. So Nasdaq still the weakest for now. Yeah, in terms of resistance, I think if it tests last Friday's lows onwards, there could be some resistance 22.5 to about 22.7K. Yeah, for Nasdaq. In terms of the weekly, I think definitely still weak currently. Price has remained under this 20 SMA weekly for about three trading weeks. So that's weakness for Nasdaq. Yeah. Okay, next one I'll talk about is S&P 500. Yeah, so S&P, I think relatively still sideways and is holding the key 100 SMA support level, which is this blue line. You see, it's around 6,830. But we can see some weakness where price has been testing this line a few times with lower highs being formed along the way. So that's some sign of weakness, but no confirmation yet. Unless I think there's a clean break of 6,789, this horizontal support level as well, which is that's tested a few times as well. So I think for now, this will be the key 6789 horizontal support level as well as 100 SMA. It must hold this level for price to kind of sideways. If it breach this, I think we will probably see some downside to test maybe this level 6720. And then the next key level will be somewhere around close to 6,555. So that's the next stronger support level. So for now, I think some sideways movement. Some sideways movement, but no confirmation of a breakdown yet. On the weekly time frame, also tested the weekly 20 SMA a few weeks in a row, but there hasn't been a close below that yet. Yeah, so if there's a close below this level, then I think we'll see some weakness ahead for the S&P, which might follow the Nasdaq. Yeah, so that's my take off for the indices. Generally, in terms of relative strength, Nasdaq still the weakest, then S&P is in the middle, and Dow Jones is still the strongest for now. And next one, I'll talk about gold. So gold has been, I think gold has recovered quite well recently since the breakout of this 5,886 resistance, which tested a few times higher lows. And then, since the breakout, continue trend along the 5 SMA level, today is up about 2%. So I think hitting this 5,415 level over here, I think most probably we'll see it continue to rise to test this 5,600 swing high level again. Then we see maybe there's some pullback afterwards. But I think as long for now, as long as it remains along the 5 SMA, then I think it's still very strong. So this, in terms of, I think that's the momentum to look at right now. Next one talk about is WTI oil. Yeah, so for oil, I think we've seen a gap up today. I think then earlier this morning, I think there was a retest of this 69.5 to about 70.5 previous swing high resistance over here. So I think for now, that would likely be the support. Yeah, then I think if the FI SMA catches up, if the 5 SMA catches up as well, I think there will be a bit of a support for now as well. So I think most likely we'll see support probably will stay around this $69-70 for now, which tested this morning. In terms of resistance, I think we could see oil price go higher, I think, depending on the situation. But in terms of resistance in the past, during June last year, hit about 77. There was some resistance over here. Next level to watch will be around $80. Yeah, and following which is like 84. So these are some key levels to watch for WTI. So I think for now, after this morning testing this previous swing high resistance finding support. I think in the next few days, probably we could see, or it can still stabilize the support over here. Then I think it could move higher to maybe test 77 or $81 next. Yeah, so that's for WTI. Next one for VIX. Yeah, for VIX, I think generally this is my chart. Price broke out the resistance over here, 21.9. Yeah, gap up today. But overall, I don't think there will be much panic yet. Because I think I still have this downwards resistance line over here. I think generally there might be some resistance around 26, around there. So as long as price continue to remain below 26 and below, we probably will not see that much panic yet. Yeah, so that's my take. For now, support wise, if we test back this 22 level, close out this gap, there might be some support that comes in from the 5 SMA level as well. So probably kind of sandwich right now between 22, 26. If it breaks above 26 and hold, I say 28, 29 level, then I think that would be a case for more volatility in the market. Yeah, but for now, if it remains below 26, I think could be still relatively quite contained. Next one, I think, yeah, talk about copper. Yeah, copper, I think generally still pretty much sideways, nothing much today. In terms of weekly chart, still maintaining since the pullback, still maintaining the 5 and 10 SMA weekly, which is like 5.9. So I think that's the support. In terms of resistance for now, Bollinger Band is pretty flat, so some resistance at 6.1 around there. Then if it clears that, the next one will be like 6.3, 6.4 over here. So I think for copper, probably relatively quite sideways. Yeah, so that's it for some of the indices and commodities. Next one, I'll move on to I'll move on to the different sectors. So first, I'll talk about the Mag 7 sector. So Mag 7, I'll talk about this Round Hill Magnificent 7 ETF, the MAGS. So for this ETF, I think definitely we see some weakness from the head and shoulders breakdown. So the neckline was at $62 after a few tests. I think we see a breakdown for now. So I think we probably could see more downside to come overall for this for the Mag 7 sector as a whole. For now, currently pre-market about 60.34. The recent swing was 60.13. See whether tonight still can hold this swing low as a bit of a bounce, but I think generally still pretty weak. I think short-term resistance will come when the 5 and 10 SMAs kind of turn down and act as some resistance. So I think for now, probably resistance 61 onwards. If it breaks below this, the swing low at the 60, then probably we will see some more weakness towards maybe next one is like 56 to 57 area, which was the previous area in August, September. Yeah, so that's for the Mag 7 ETF. Definitely showing weakness. I think here I was looking at it, and I found that the trading view can see the Mag 7 index, which is the Bloomberg Magnificent 7 price. So if you have trading view, then if you key in BM7P, right, you can actually see the Magnificent index, which might be useful as well. So that day I managed to find out this. So just wanted to share with you all. So in terms of the Mag 7 index, take a look at it. Also definitely showing weakness, testing this key neckline around 30,100 a few times. I think we'll probably see a break this, and probably the next key level for now probably somewhere around 28.8k, then followed by 27.8k. So in terms of Fibonacci retracements, if you take the April low last year to the swing high, that's 38.2% retracement level at 27.8k probably will be more important level. So that's for the Mag 7 as a whole. Okay, next one I'll go through the individual counters within the Mag 7. So first up, I'll talk about is Meta. So for Meta, I think generally has been pretty much kind of sideways. Price has been just finding some support around this, finding some support around the 640 area over here, kind of sideways, and resistance at like 660. So pretty much sideways. But if it breaks below, if we see a break below 628, which is like the recent horizontal support over here, I think we might see some continued weakness towards closer to the 600 retest over here again. Yeah, which where there's a, is this where there is a bit of a gap over here as well. So kind of sideways for now, but no strength yet also lah. In terms of weekly chart also price has come down below the 20 SMA weekly and has been a bit of resistance since then as well. So just moving sideways, and if there's a break of 628, then we'll see more downside. Then I think resistance for now probably is a 660 to 672 area. So probably a bit sideways if it maintains this. Next one, Apple. Yeah, for Apple, I think right now probably some weakness as well. Price has been, there was a lower high last week where it retested this 273 breakdown leg area, and it held as a bit of resistance. And then Friday wise, yeah, close below this 265 this level as well. So I think for now probably we will see, yeah, we could see price maybe test the low ends of this swing low over here, close to maybe 255 to 258. This area will probably support and lower Bollinger Band area. So we might see price do a bit of a bounce if it tests over here, but some weakness for now, given that the lower highs and then the retest of the breakdown turn to resistance, and then Friday close below 265 as well. So some weakness for Apple right now. Maybe just lower highs and then a bounce off the support again, then consolidation afterwards. Next one, Amazon. Yeah, so for Amazon, probably I think still a bit rather sideways. So price still maintaining 211, 212 as the resistance, which was previously this support. And I think the key for now is still holding the 10 SMA 10 SMA daily. So and also the horizontal support level around 205. So if there's a break below 205, currently it's around 205 around there. If there's a breakdown below that, I think we'll probably see some weakness for Amazon to test perhaps the recent swing low around 196, 197 over here. Yeah. Yeah, so that's for Amazon. Rather sideways right now, so but and holding 205. But if this break gives way, I think we'll probably see a retest of the recent lows. Next one, Netflix. Yeah, after the news, seen quite a bit of a gap up. So I think for now, yeah, in terms of the Friday levels, it was back at the intraday. It tested this 92 level, managed to hold, and then close to this 97 level. So kind of within this area. So I think for now, we might continue to see. I think for Netflix probably will perform a bit stronger than the rest. I think because it's come down quite a bit recently, and then based on the news, then there's been a bit of a rebound for now. So if you can hold 92, then I think there could be still some upside, I think, potentially. So today, I think for now, let's see if today the Friday swing lows can hold as support on 91 to 92, and wait for, I think once the 5 SMA catch up, I think there will be some support as well for the price. Yeah, for the price. So for now, yeah, let's see whether 91, 92 can still hold as support. 97, some reason on Friday which tested. If it breaks above 97, then we could see potentially some more upside towards next level at 102, 104, this area previously. So I think if I remember correctly, I think around start December, this was the time where there was a deal announced. So I think it might continue, it might test this level again, 102 to 104. So that's for Netflix. Next one, Alphabet. Yeah, for alphabet, I think recently kind of just sideways after a rebound from this 296 retest over here. Yeah, price kind of just sideways. Some support is at this 305, 304, 305 level, this level. So I think this if this gives way, then we probably see a retest of 296 and below lah. 296, then followed by next key level, I think 285 to 296. Then for now, resistance probably I think will maintain around like 308 onwards to about 317 now for alphabet. Yeah, in terms of the weekly chart, I think something interesting is that we've seen some weakness where price break down the 10 SMA weekly, then it test all the way down to 20 SMA. There was a bit of rebound last week. But price is facing some resistance from the 5 SMA weekly lah. So if the 20 SMA gives way, which is currently 305 around there, if this breaks below that, I think we might continue to see some weakness for alphabet. So that's for the weekly chart. Then last but not least, I'll talk about Microsoft. Yeah, for Microsoft, I think for now still I think some is holding a bit of a support over here at this key level at 392, but generally still weakness. So 392 was this gap fill area which tested a few times, like two times about there, but still lower highs. And resistance at 20 SMA would be daily, sorry. Then I think overall I have this longer term uptrend channel. Yeah. So this is stretching back all the way to from the October 2022. I think probably quite important trend line. So if this area is being breached, I think we could see some further downside ahead. Yeah, I think the next key support. Yeah, could be somewhere around like 356 and then 374 about there. So for Microsoft. So I think for now, if I think we could still continue to see some weakness. Yeah, if it continues to fall below 392, and on the weekly also still maintaining resistance from the 5 SMA weekly. Yeah. So that's it for the max 7. I think overall for the index, pretty much weakness since the breakdown of the neckline. I think they might see some bounce from the swing low, but overall I will still maintain my view that I think probably we'll still see some further weakness given the breakdown, and then it has been overall the whole sector has been trending weak since the start of this year. Yeah. Next one I'll talk about is the financials. So first I'll start with the XLF, which takes a look at the financial sector as a whole. So for the ETF, you see also not very good in terms of still trending downwards. And then last week was did a bit of a bounce from this 50.9 level over here. So there's been tested a few times, and recently still lower high bounces where breakdown of support has turned into resistance a few times. So I think generally still weakness, and so I think if we this week wise, I think if it fails below this 51 level, I think we probably would see some further weakness downwards towards 49.5 next as the key level, which was the June levels. Last year, that will be the next key support for the XLF sector. And now I'll move on to the 4 banks. Yeah, for first one, JP Morgan, I think still for now has been testing the support area a few times, like around 296, lower highs as well. So I think for now, in terms of the daily price has been finding some resistance on the 10 SMA as well. So lower highs and then multiple tests of support, I think is some weakness. Once there's a breakdown of this 295, this area, probably I think we'll see more downside towards a test of next one is around here, like 284 to around here as the next possible support for JP Morgan. Yeah, the next one maybe around 273 around there. So I think still weakness for now. Okay, next one, Bank of America also showing weakness since last week there was a breakdown of this 51.6 level, and then the retest met resistance Friday also closed bearish. So for now, some of the key levels, I think today is probably, as of now, pre-market is out for opening quite close to this swing level. So I think yeah, see we can whether you can maintain this level 48 around 48.5. Next, some of the key levels below is like 47, yeah, 47, and then next one is like 44.7 as well. So I think yeah, for now probably still weakness now. And previous supports I think will turn to resistance once there's a breakdown. So probably for now 50 is probably a resistance level for now. Okay, next one is Wells Fargo. Okay, Wells Fargo, yeah, also bearish because once there was a breakdown last week of this 86, 87 area, then there was a retester into resistance, and then Friday closed lower as well. So tested this swing low level 80.6 today. I think it's now 80.07 pre-market. I think probably we could see maybe a test of this support area again, which is like 70, around 70, 75 to about 78. This area, I think probably will hold the price for a while, for a bit now. Yeah, if you test this area. Next one, Citigroup. Yeah. So for Citigroup, yeah, also weakness, but it's still for now. This one a bit stronger than the rest, but it's still holding at support for now. But I think it's still weak now. It's a bit stronger than the rest. 110 this level. We did a flag between 110 to 116. Today, probably will see a breakdown below that. I think next support level for this that could hold the price is somewhere a retest of 103, 104 in this previous range resistance. So I think price will probably come to a retest of this level. So I think in terms of the banks, I think XLF will see price has been testing the support again, lower highs. I think after multiple tests of the support, probably will see a breakdown. So I would think maybe still a bit more weakness ahead for the banks, yeah, to test out the previous some of the lower key levels again. Next sector I'll talk about is the semicons. So we'll start off with the Philadelphia Semicon Index, which is the stocks. So for this one semicon, I would say probably one of the strongest sector out there right now already. But last week, some weakness after the Nvidia results. So prior before that price did like try to break out this 8386 level over here, but then subsequently reversed down. So I think for now, most probably we'll see some short-term weakness. Following this, I would say it's a short-term bull trap pattern over here. Yeah, so for now, I think the key to see whether the whole momentum will still maintain will be to see some support. So first one, I will be looking at this short-term upward support line. If today, whether you can hold this 7-8, around 7,850 this level here, with some horizontal support at this upward support line. So if this can hold, then I think could still maintain in this range bound for now. Yeah, if this breaks, then I think we'll be looking at some lower levels towards 7,473. So I think that's for the stocks to take note of. Yeah, some weakness at the end of last week. And then on the weekly chart is to look at whether the 10 SMA weekly can maintain, which like 7,600, 7,864 right now as well. So if there's a break below this 10 SMA weekly, then there will probably be more weakness. So that's for the stocks. I'll move on to the individual names. So first one, Nvidia. Yeah, so first one for Nvidia, I think the chart is not very good. So I would think I think that it looks a bit like a head and shoulders over here. So there's you see there's a left shoulder, and then the head over here and the right shoulder, and then we have this upper support line as a bit of a neckline. So for NVIDIA in terms of price action, it's been kind of sideways for a very long period of time. Prior to the earnings, there was price tried to break above 192, 183, this key resistance level, and subsequently it reversed down very fast. So I think that's bearish, potential bullish track pattern over here. So I think for now, as of Friday's close, it was maintained at the upper support line. As of now, pre-market is about slightly under 174.40 right now. So I think if this first support level, I think could turn into resistance, this upper support line. So for now, resistance might be 176, 177. Then if there's a further confirmation, I think, of 171 being broken, this is another key horizontal support level. So if this is being broken, I think overall I feel we could see more downside for NVIDIA. Yeah, for now it's still maintaining the bit of range with these two supports to look at. Yeah, so for now I would think probably some resistance 177 around there. If it does a retest, 171 might still hold, but if there's a breakdown, then we could see some downside. Yeah, with some lower levels like 164 as the next level. So that's my take on NVIDIA. Next one on AMD. Now for AMD, I think the chart in terms of the price action also not very good. Okay, now pre-market is at 174.40, so it's pretty. Sorry, I mean 194. I was thinking why it was so low. Okay, so for AMD, I think in terms of the chart, doesn't look very good as well. I think there's a double top over here at 263. Then recent price action, I think it's not very good as well. After the earnings, I think previously this blue line has 100 SMA level was a bit of a support, but it has turned into resistance now. So after the earnings gap down, price it has then turned into resistance. Just been consolidating the flat pattern between like 193 to 216, and then recently last week, I think there was a gap out on the news, but then subsequently it didn't manage to hold some supports. So it continued to face some resistance at 20 SMA, and then subsequently Thursday onwards broke down the 5 and 10 SMA. So I think that's not good. For now, it's back at this very key support level at 193. This 193 area. So I think it might test this swing low again at 190.7. But I think there might be some bounce, but overall I think it will still be quite weak. Once there's a break below this 190 level, I think we could be looking at some lower supports to maybe test 182 next. So 182 was like this 182 to 186 was this previous swing high over here. Yeah. And then next one lower than that would be like 171, which is this gap level previously. So I think AMD for now still pretty good. Unless in the short term you can try to break above 217 now over here. Okay, next one I'll move on to some other names. TSM. Yeah, for TSM, I think for now, I think it's still okay as of Friday's close, where I think it's still one of the stronger ones out there with price maintaining that 10 SMA support level. But as of now, pre-market 364 slightly under. I think today, if there's some weakness, it could test close to this 357 level, this horizontal level, and close to 20 SMA, where it might find some support over there if it still continues to maintain leadership in the semicon sector. So these are level to watch. Below that is probably 340, around 345 around there. Yeah. So I think for now, it might test this level for some support. Around 357. Short-term resistance probably could come from the 10 SMA itself. So that's around 370. In terms of weekly, probably still maintaining quite a bit of strength now above the 5 SMA really. So that's still no problem. Next one, ASML. Yeah, for ASML, I think still okay. Still okay for now. Okay, not sure why my SMAs are not loading. Yeah, so currently, I think as of last week, there was like a test of this 1,493, bit of a double top. So some pullback over here, but generally, I think still okay. Looks like it might do a bit of a sideways consolidation within a range. So maybe like between this 1,300 uh 1,350 area to 1,500 for now. Yeah, so some supports maybe you can look at the weekly time frame. So I think if there's some pullback below the 5 SMA weekly, the next support might come from 10 SMA weekly. So currently it's a 1,341 as of Friday's close. Yeah, so I feel that in the short term wise, it might do a bit of a sideways movement. Might be something similar to this part over here in November, where price kind of uh rally and then do a bit of a double top in the short term and then pull back towards the 10 SMA afterwards, then continue to form a higher high afterwards. Yeah. The next one is Marvel, which is releasing results later this week. So for Marvel, I think short term wise, after the retest of this 74 swing low over here, price has been just sideways. So nothing much. Support is generally like 77, 78. I think resistance generally for now is like 84, 85. Still holding over here. So I think should be nothing too much before the results. And next one, Broadcom also releasing results later this week. Yeah, Broadcom, I think for now also nothing too much. It has been pretty much kind of sideways, but I think it's still forming lower highs and for now it's generally is 306. This gap fill level is still holding as support. So since the retest has been still holding as support over here, uh, then price is generally quite range bound with resistance coming when it tests the short term averages. So I would think now maybe 328 is a bit of resistance in the short term before the results. And on the weekly, still some weakness where we see price is maintaining has been maintaining below the 20 SMA, and then the 5 and 10 SMA weekly has been holding its resistance. Then just moving sideways for now. Next one I'll talk about is Micron. Okay, for Micron, I think for now it might do a bit of a sideways consolidation. So has been finding some resistance at this 436 level. Then but good thing is still having higher lows. So recently the higher low was at this around 395 about there. So I think it's still okay. Just a bit of consolidation after a strong rally. On the weekly time frame, I think for now it's still as of Friday's close, it's maintaining the 5 SMA weekly. But if there's some weakness, I think where it tests the 10 SMA, I think that would still be a support. So generally has been during this rally, during some of the like bigger pullbacks, for example in November, I think where it tested the 10 SMA, it has been holding a support. So I think that will still hold as a bit of support for now if it tests the 10 SMA weekly this week. Yeah. Which could be somewhere around like 380s. Yeah. Yeah, so that's for Micron. Next one, Intel. Yeah, for Intel, I think for now, nothing much going on. Some weakness still persists, where this after the breakdown of this trading range over here, like 47 has been a bit of resistance. It's been a resistance. I think support will probably still hold at least 40 to 50 around here. So I think could be range bound in the short term for now. Then generally this one support level, if there's some further weakness, the next support could come from this trend line over here. So that could be somewhere closer to 39 to 40 level. Yeah. Yeah, then in terms of the weekly charts, yeah, still maintaining 10 SMA weekly, but if some weakness, then we might see a retest closer to the 20 SMA weekly. Yeah. So that's it, I think, for the semi-con sector. Generally still one of the stronger sectors out there. Yeah, but there, I think still some mixed performance among the different names. Yeah, then next one, I'll move on to the EV makers. So first one is Tesla. So I think Tesla for now generally has been still pretty weak since the breakdown of this upward support line in blue over here. I think generally has been trending within this short term downtrend channel. In the short term wise, I think has been generally the very strong resistance I think has come from the 20 SMA this yellow line over here, which has marked a few turning points for now. So for now, I think uh today is around 393 around for here for now. I feel that for today, if it tests this swing low 387.50 along with these downtrend channels, okay, it might still hold as a bit of support over here. But I think resistance might come above 400 still a bit of a lower highs for now. Yeah, then I think key is to see whether this 387 is still holding. So I think this is quite important support. Previously in November during the pullback, it held as a key swing low, and this one also another swing low. So I think if this is a important support, if it breach below this level, I think the next key support I think will be somewhere like around 367 next for Tesla. Yeah. So still some weakness for now for Tesla, but it's a bit gradual. Yeah, for in terms of the charts. The next one is Xpeng. I think for Xpeng, generally pretty much kind of sideways. Still weakness where previous support has become resistance at around 18 to 19. And price has been generally range one. So I think would be just trading between 16, maybe 16 to 17. 17 for now. Yeah, then for new, I think it's also quite a range bound. So swing low at 4.4 is still holding. Then recently it's 4.8. His key level is also holding as support, but resistance is this 5.3. So if there's a breach of 4.8, we might see some weakness back towards like 4.4, 4.5 again. Then for Rivian, yeah. So for Rivian, I think pull back after the earnings gap up, pull back to fill the gap. We have 14.7. I think for now it's relatively sideways. So some support, I think 1450 is a horizontal level. I think that might still hold for now. Then some resistance around maybe 16 around there. So maybe some sideways. Yeah, so with that, I think I'll go towards the questions that you have right now. Yeah, I acknowledge. I see in the chat. By BY. Yeah, I acknowledge your comments that. Those asked by anonymous could be from the same person to break the 3 counters per person restriction. Yeah. So, yeah. So I'll try to go through those counters asked by if you put your name out there, so I think to be fair to everyone. Yeah, then afterwards I'll go through those anonymous questions. Yeah. So first one I'll start with BY. Your counters are CVS, BMY, and CCL. Okay, first one CVS Health. Okay, for CVS Health, I think general trend is still uptrend. Then recently has been still maintaining within this range consolidation itself. So since the gap down over here, price has been maintaining this like $73, and then yeah, has been then testing the recent resistance is like 79 over here, like third time on Friday. So I would say for now it might form a bit of a higher low. Maybe it's with support for now. Maybe I would say maybe 76 to 77 area if you can form a higher low, which has been trying to form since the this end of January. So yeah, that could be the support. Afterwards, resistance wise, some resistance maybe at 81 about there on the previous levels and 84. So I think it could try to inch up slowly. Looks like trying to like since the gap down price has been trying to looks like it's trying to go higher with some multiple tests of resistance and a bit of higher lows along the way. So I think it could be trying to go upwards again on the weekly charts also. Trying to break above some of the SMAs on the weekly. So if you can form a higher low at probably 77 onwards, then I think there's a chance of it price trying to continue go a bit higher to test on the 81, 84 levels. Okay, next one is Bristol Myers Squibb. So I think for this is still pretty strong, still uptrend for now. Recently looks like a flag. Price doing a flag over here. Yeah, and looks like probably could break out of this area which resistance is at 62, where because pretty price back tested previous swing high resistance close to 59 and found support. So I think overall price action is still very good. Above I think could still continue its uptrend now, above 62. The next key level, I think it's like 60. Based on previous levels, I think it's like 65.40 is as the next key resistance level. Yeah, and then maybe next one is like 60, close to 67. The next one for CCL Carnival Corp. So I think for CCL not very good because I think previously I had a technical buy call on it because I saw it was forming higher lows with multiple tests of resistance, but price couldn't really try to maintain the breakout over here. And then as of now, pre-market is like 29.15 over here for now. So I think probably we could see some weakness for now. Support could be this 28 level, this horizontal level over here. Yeah. Yeah, so I think for now, 28 my support resistance wise might come from somewhere around close to $30 for Carnival in the short. Okay, so I'll move to the next question by Matthew. YINNXOXL and SVOL. Okay, YINN is this FTSE China Bull 3 times. So let me look at the charts. Okay, for this, I think there's some weakness. Price has been was in this trading range like 41 to 50, then has been forming like lower highs now with this trend. I believe this trend line over here. So uh be able to. Yeah, so I think for now, probably a breakdown. I think price might have some lower levels. For now, next key support looks like it's around this 33, 33 to 34 area over here. Yeah, so I think price might have some support once it tests this level in the short term. Next one is around like $30. Yeah, so for now, I think weakness after the break, since the breakdown last week of 41. Yeah, then some short-term resistance might come from like 37 to about 38. And then next one, XOXL. XOXL is this daily semicon bull 3 times. Okay, for this, I think for now, I think yeah, probably some kind of similar to the Philadelphia Semicon index chart I have previously earlier on. So yeah, still pretty strong, moving sideways recently. I think the key is to see tonight whether this level it sits on currently 57.8 now. It's along this trend line. So as this horizontal support area can hold as support or not. I think yeah, probably I think there could be some weakness for now. If it tests the SMAs, if it's like there could be some short-term resistance at 63, I feel, for the short term. Then support one, now it's testing one support 58. Below that, if it fails, then I think the next key support that should hold price is somewhere closer to 51, this level again. Yeah. So looks like some consolidation in the near term, perhaps. And next one, SVOL. Is this simplified volatility premium ETF? Okay, so for this, I think generally bit sideways, but some weakness recently with some bit of a lower highs. I think the key for this might be this this trend line over here that's supporting the price, and also the recent horizontal support over here like at around 16.4, 16.5. So I think this is a key area that price must hold. For now, I do think for now could be a bit still pretty much sideways. Some key resistance is whenever it touches the 20 SMA level. So maybe like 1660 to 1680, there will be probably some resistance for now. Yeah, 1640 over here, important to hold. If not, we might see some downside maybe towards like 1590 perhaps. Yeah, as the next key level. So that's this for that's my view for this ETF. Yeah, thanks. Okay, next question by Sharon. Hi, good evening. Your question to support reason for ALAB, Micron, and Palantir. Okay, next one. Okay, this one ALAB. Okay, for two support reason. In terms of the chart, I think not very good, but there's a breakdown after the results of 140 over here. So in terms of support, I would think the next support might come from a gap fill, perhaps. Yeah, where it might possibly fill this gap around here at 104, right? I think. Below that, the next support maybe at 88, 89 over here. So resistance, I think if we retest this, if it does a retest of this breakdown level like 170 around here, I think there will be a resistance. in the short term. Next resistance might come from next resistance might come around like 127, 128 around here. Okay, then next one, Micron. Okay, sorry for the lag. I think for Micron's, only some support might be this one 395 level over here, which was like the swing low 2 weeks ago. Next support level, I think could be the somewhere closer to like 360 stuff over here. So I think something I observed for Micron as well is that during this uptrend, the 50 SMA has been quite a good support level. For example, in November to December, this acted as supports, and previously around here, I think it was pretty okay as a support. Though it did a bit lower than rebounded from there. So I think yeah, these are some supports. 368, 395. In terms of resistance for now maybe around like 415 and then 436. Yeah. For Palantir, yeah, Palantir chart I think for now pretty sideways. Yeah, but some a bit of some strength on Friday, some short term strength of where it stood above the 510 SMEs. Then today we have this gap up over here. So, but I think it's likely to face some resistance once it has this downwards resistance line. So that's first level of resistance, maybe at 140, 142 to 144, 146 area over here. Next level of resistance, I think, is 150. So I would think this could be like a head and shoulders retest it could be doing. So 140, yeah, these two levels, 140 3 to 150 as some short-term resistance. In terms of support could be if it fills the gap at 137, that could be one level of support. Afterwards, could be somewhere like the lows again 128. So I think that's for Palantir. Okay, hi Patrick, good evening. Your question is a TA for the three Singapore banks. So I'll go through DBS first. Yeah, for DBS, I think we are seeing some weakness with the breakdown of this upwards channel. Then recently, in terms of the price action, also I think yeah, some weakness where it's been lower highs and then yeah, and yeah, we test this 5740 support level breakdown broke down. So in terms of supports, I'll pull out the longer term moving averages. Today hit one. Today has hit the 100 SMA level. So I think near term support wise, uh, could be around 5480. I think this could be a support. Previously high volume over here, and then there was a pullback as a support. Going a bit lower, I think the lowest support for DBS, I think maybe in the near term, maybe around this close to $54 now. So 54 to 54.80. Yeah, for now, yeah, it might test some of these levels. Then for UOB, I think it's back to a support today to retest this previous level at around 36. Yeah, so I think there might be some bounce over here. In terms of next support level, I think could be if it tests the 100 and 200 SMA levels. So that's like 30, around 35.40 to 35.70 area. So I think this area previous resistance could hold as a bit of a support area. Yeah, then short-term resistance, I think for now could be like 30 above 36.80. Yeah. In terms of UOB, I think price has done a bit of a sideways consolidation recently, but uh possibly some weakness uh with a breakdown of this upward support line and then this range. So if it continues below 21, then we might be seeing some currently at the 50 SMA level. So some lower supports would be like $20.20, as well as like 19.80. So I think this will probably be some support over here will hold the price if it dips towards closer to the 100 SMA level. Yeah, then resistance for now is like uh 21 to this 23, 21.30 level. Okay, hi David, your questions is on BABA and PL. Okay, first one for Alibaba. Okay, for Alibaba, I think some weakness for now generally has been like this key support today as of Friday there was a bit of a breakdown 145 level, and also price has been like uh, has been quite bearish now, whereas breakdown support has turned to resistance during this pullback. So I think we might see price try to go a bit lower to test some of the lower previous levels over here, where it might do a gap fill over here at 135. Then around 131, 132 is a support. So these are immediate support level. Below that, I think the next one is around like 123, 124. And so overall, probably still some weakness after the recent breakdown, yeah, to maybe test out these previous levels. PL is Planet Labs. Yeah, for Planet Labs, it looks like some pullback recently, some weakness where this 25.70 level has turned from a support to resistance. But a bit of higher lows on the way. So could be like a bit of flat, this a bit of a flat pattern over here. So I think it may be important for this to hold like around 23, 23.15 maybe, to hold this pattern over here. If it was to recover back above this breakdown level. If there's a break below, I think Friday lows like 22.70, then we might see some weakness towards like $20.70 again, this level over here. Yeah, for Planet Lab. So pretty much, I think quite looks like a consolidation right now first. Yeah, see whether there's a breakdown or whether it can recover above 25.70. Okay, hi James, your counters are MCO and BE. The MCO is Moody's. Uh, oh, For Moody's, I think there was recently there was a bit of a recovery. Then yeah, after price consolidated sideways at least 450 breakout and currently holding, I think for now, short term support might be the 5 SMA level, like around 461 as of Friday's close. And as well as this horizontal level over here, 465. So price might find some support over here. In terms of resistance, I think some key resistance here will be like closer to the 493, 494 area again. Yeah. As of now, I think, yeah, probably as of now, it's like around 50 to 61% Fibonacci retracement area. So I think this, yeah, above 490, there will be some bit of a resistance over there, coupled with the horizontal levels. Yeah, then for now, short-term support, I think still maintaining it, should be still the short-term move averages, 5 SMA and the 10 SMA levels. Next one, BE, is Bloom Energy. For Bloom Energy, I think has been still on an uptrend. Recently, I would just say looks like just still moving the flag lah. So good thing still maintaining previous recent support 139 over here. So just still recently we tested this swing high some resistance. Yeah, so some yeah, just like still look at a bit of a flag. Let me take a look at the weekly. Yeah, weekly support might come from the 10 SMA lah. I think if you test, so that's 135.40 on Friday's close. I think it might continue to just continue a bit of a flag over here for now first. Okay, next question by Jean. Can you share outlook for Oracle, please? So let's take a look. Okay, so for Oracle, I think still pretty much bearish. So as price has been on downtrend, and then recently has been holding. Also, there was a breakdown now where there's this 152 breakdown. Retest has found some resistance along the 20 SMA level, 10 SMA level as well. So currently, I think for now, a bit of a gap down, only slightly below 141. Support. I think if it tests some of this for 136 to 138, might be a bit of a support for the recent swing lows, but I think will be still quite weak. Unless price can try to break above 152, then there might be some chance of some strength in the short term. Yeah, but overall still pretty good. I think for now it looks like from the looks of it might test the swing low again. 136. Then below 136, the next key level is like closer to 124. Okay, there's a question by RV. Can you explain the price action we can expect in head and shoulder pattern? You mentioned Nvidia or Palantir. Yeah, so I think Nvidia, I think it's just a guess of a head and shoulder from my side. I think there was no confirmation yet. But yeah, I can explain a bit more on it. If you yeah, so for Nvidia, I think typically for head and shoulder, you will probably see like most probably will only notice it by the right shoulder. So when you realize that kind of price, kind of side, you do a bit of a sideways, but you can't try to have strength to try to test the highs. So and then I think one sign I observed possibly is this. I don't really like is that after a very long consolidation over here, price sort of like a bullish trap over here at 193. So if buyers were long on this breakout, and then the next afterwards there's very strong selling pressure. It actually shows that the sellers are actually in control lah. So this uh is more towards the downside bias. Yeah. And I think also because uh I think after the results was it was green initially. Then afterwards, after during the main session, then it turned there was a strong selling afterwards. Then I think for head and shoulders confirmation, I think you would want to watch for a neckline break as well as so it's probably a 176 breakdown. And then I think for further confirmation, I think will be to see this horizontal level 171. If this there's a breakdown below there, I think there could be most likely more confirmation of further weakness. Yeah. Then for the case of Palantir, I think it's already formed. So I think for now, I think it might do a retest. So over here there was like the key support over here was like 149, 150. And then there was a breakdown after the results on strong volume. Afterwards, price sideways over here. So right now I think to see whether 150, 149, 150 area here is a bit of from previous support testing to resistance. So if during the rebound, let's say it turns to resistance, then you will kind of more confirm that it's a head and shoulders breakdown over here. Yeah. So that's my thought process on things. Okay, I think there's a question by KC, Surf, Teladoc, and GME. Okay, Surf Robotics. I think it's pretty much sideways now. I think looks like nothing much happening at this support area again. Like coming close to $9, there's some support. Below that's $8. So for now, recently it looks like a bit of a sideways. Uh, yeah, then resistance for now maybe like 10 around $10, but probably I think. Next one for Telador. Let's see. Yeah, still pretty much quite a downtrend. Then recently a bit of I think some short-term strength after the earnings, where there was a breakout of this short-term moving averages. So short-term wise, I think support could come from a back test. If it back test be like 4.9 to 5, I think there could be some support over here. Then resistance wise, I think resistance might come from the if you test the 10M SMA weekly, so for 5.9 is 5 days close. Yeah. Then $6 previously was like a breakdown, swing low breakdown level as well. So probably 5.9 to 6. I think will be quite a bit of resistance over there. And next one, GameStop. Yeah, for GameStop, I think right now probably sideways. Yeah, pretty much sideways. Price count. We tested this 2570 previous breakdown level, then pull back. Good thing is that still maintaining this support around like $23. So if $23 will maintain, I think there's still a chance of it doing a bit of a flag over here at the prior resistance area. So I will assume now it's still doing a flag formation. For now, yeah, 23, January 23 to 25 to about 26. Then if you can try to recover above 2450, which is this bunch of lower wicks that turn to resistance, then we could see some more short-term strength in the short term for GameStop. But for now, I think just kind of sideways. Yeah. And some key levels 23, 26, then this swing high like 28. Yeah. So that's for GameStop. Okay, I see it's about 9:15. So I will stop over here. Yeah, apologies for all the anonymous questions. Because I prioritize all the those that who asked with their names first. Yeah, so but I think I'll just take one more qualitative question. Uh, which there's a question: what's the outlook on Singapore market given the stellar rally in last year? Do you still see strong momentum? Okay, I think for Singapore market, I do still see I do still see gains this year. I think overall because it's still a very steady rally. Probably, but a bit of a weakness today where I think yeah, there was a breakdown below this 4,920 level where price was sideways. So I think for now still pretty strong. Some support for STI I think might come around if you test the 50 SME somewhere closer to 4,830. So I think this has been acting as quite a support. Yeah, price has been maintaining above this level since the liberation day sell off last year. So I think this first level support that might hold the price. And I think STI has still been outperforming some other markets like US market this year. So I do still see gains for Singapore market this year. Based on the charts, I think still looking strong and no signs of like continued weakness yet. Yeah. So I think that's all for my sharing today. Thanks. I will just stop sharing my screen right now. Yeah. So yeah, just give me a moment. I'll just share some links in the chat. Yeah. Okay, I dropped some links in the webinar chat. So there's a survey form. So I'll appreciate if you help me to fill in to leave your feedback about today's session. So if you like it, I will appreciate if you leave good feedback. If you think uh, there could be more improvement in something to make your experience better, I would appreciate if you leave your feedback down below as well, so I can improve your experience further for future webinars as well. Also, if you haven't joined or if you are new here, welcome. Feel free to join our Poems Tree community. There's a few community groups and including one of technical analysis also, so you can download using the link over there as well. And there's also the Poems TA Telegram group as well. So you can feel free to join and I'll post some content over there as well. So I think that's all for today. Yeah, thanks for your attendance. Also for all your questions and apologies to those questions that I couldn't have enough time to answer lah. So yeah, so that's all for today, and I think yeah, I think probably we'll see heightened volatility in the markets, and I think just keep a lookout in terms of whatever's happening in the earnings and also what's with the news uh, and some of the economic data like the non-farm payrolls. Don't forget this Friday as well. Yeah, so I hope to see you all again in the next session. Good night, everyone. Have a good week ahead. Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.